Welcome back to AM Northwest. Our first guest has written a powerful memoir detailing a childhood filled with trauma and how, despite those wounds, or maybe because of them, she became determined to stand against gun violence. Here to share her story of healing and hope, we welcome the author of Dumb Girl, Portland's own Heidi Yewman. Thank you so much for joining us, Heidi. Okay, first of all,
thanks.
talk to me about the title.
Yeah, so Dumb Girl came because I grew up in a family with 3 brothers, and there was a mantra that was always, Heidi, don't be a dumb girl.
Oh my gosh.
So if I saw a spider and screamed, or I had to pee, or I had an emotion, needed to cry about something, I was told, don't be a dumb girl. And so I really embodied this idea that I was dumb and I was a girl and this was something I shouldn't be.
Right.
And then in 5th grade, I failed a social studies class. My dad, who was a very angry man, was very upset. And he had me take all my F papers and put them up on my bedroom wall. And when I got done, he said, now all your friends will see how stupid you are.
Oh my gosh.
And so as an 11-year-old,
Yeah.
that really impacts you, and that really impacts how you view yourself.
Right.
And so I saw myself as dumb.
Right.
And so as I went into the gun control advocacy world and had to sort of overcome these insecurities that I had, it was that dumb girl that I had to lose, and I had to reinvent how I saw myself.
Incredible, because when you're telling this is you at what age, do you know? Do you remember?
That's about 2nd grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. You talk too, starting off in the book, it's pretty powerful how, I forget how old you are, may have been 5 years old?
5, yeah.
5 years old, and your father comes in and told you not to look at him for some unknown reason. And then you look up at him and he punches you. A 5-year-old, a grown man. He had a lot of anger and he took it out on you.
Yeah.
And your mom.
Yeah, well, all of us actually, yeah. It was not my mom was an alcoholic. My dad was a rageaholic, is what I would call him.
Yeah.
And then I was molested by a brother. And so it was a lot going on in my family.
You were able to you were able to tell your mother, right?
Yes.
So you were able to tell your mother about the abuse, and she wanted to help. She felt your pain. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I told her when I was in high school I was starting to recover a few memories of the abuse that I had happened when I was younger, and I told her about it, and she believed me.
Yeah.
And what I know about
Which is the most important thing.
And what I
right?
know is that's uncommon, and that is such a big fear of survivors. So she did believe me, and she said it wasn't my fault, and then she got me into therapy.
Right.
And so that was really helpful. But it was hard to tell her, because what happens when you're abused as a child is you oftentimes think it's your fault somehow.
Sure.
Because there's no other way to think about it.
Yeah.
Because everyone, you think it's normal, like everybody's having this happen when they're growing up in their families.
You had a younger brother that you were close to.
Yes, yes.
And you tried to tell him, confide in him. He didn't know what was going on.
Well,
he was younger.
Yeah, I was 11. He was 8.
Yeah.
What's he going to do with any of this?
He doesn't know what to. But you were trying to tell people to let them know.
Yeah.
I'm glad your mother understood and got you help. How did you get into the gun advocacy world?
So I graduated from Columbine High School 13 years before that massacre.
Yeah.
And Dave Sanders, the teacher that was killed, had been my basketball coach. And when I went back to his funeral and the mass memorial, I was sitting at his funeral, and something inside of me just clicked. And I was looking at my former teachers with red, swollen eyes, and we were all in shock. And I just thought, this is incredible that this has happened. This is so tragic and so unnecessary. And so I decided to jump in. And really, Helen, this is the first time ever I had agency. So before, all these things that happened to me when I was growing up, and I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't stop it. I couldn't get help. But I was in this pew in this church at a funeral for my former basketball coach, and I had agency, and I could say, I don't like this. This shouldn't be happening. I'm going to work to do something about it to stop it. And so that's when I got involved in gun control.
It was so shocking that day to see the murder that had happened, the mayhem of yet another school shooting. And so from then, once you saw that it was your teacher, once you connected with him and connected with all of this, where did you take this?
So I started working on an Asking Saves Kids campaign, which is a campaign that encourages parents to ask if there's a gun in their home before you let your kids play there.
Yeah.
It's an incredible safety campaign, and it saved a lot of lives. And so that's where I found my grounding, because I loved this campaign because it wasn't a controversial thing. I wasn't fighting with people. I wasn't arguing. I was saying, hey, my kids are at your home. I need them to be safe. So do you have a gun in your home? Or if you do, is it locked up with the ammunition stored separately? And so then from there, I started getting invited to speak at other PTAs and moms groups around Vancouver and Portland. And then I started doing safety campaigns. I started doing protests. I started doing vigils and just getting really involved in all aspects of gun violence prevention.
You wrote an article about, like, I think you called it A Month with a Gun.
Yeah.
Tell me about that, because that created some issues in itself.
Yeah,
but
so
tell me about, first tell me about how you came to write that article.
Yeah, so I was doing these campaigns and protests and all these different things around gun violence prevention, and all these guys were showing up to my events with guns on their hips. And I thought, what's happening here? Why are they feeling like they're so unsafe? We're in a park in Beaverton, and it seems safe to me. Why do they feel this need?
They're making a point to you.
Right, and it was intimidating, and I think that was the point.
Did that bring up memories of your dad?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was constantly being thrown back into flashbacks of my childhood.
Sure.
But so I decided, hey, I want to know where these people are coming from, because what I tend to do is when something scares me, like guys with guns on their hips, I go towards it, because I know if I can understand it, then I'm less scared of it.
Oh, okay.
And so, I know, I'm a weirdo that way.
No, that makes you you, and that's why you can write the article. Yeah.
So I bought a gun. I got a permit to carry a concealed weapon. I was living in Vancouver in Washington State. There's no training required whatsoever, so I did the bare minimum that I needed to do. And I carried the gun around with me in my purse or on my hip for a month. And then I wrote about my experience, how it affected me psychologically, emotionally, how I dealt with it at home, how I dealt with the gun when I was out and about, going to the grocery store, church, yoga classes, business meetings, all those kinds of things.
There's so much more I want to get to, but we've run out of time.
Okay.
But we want to tell everyone you have a book event, and it's September 16th at 7 p.m. at Annie Bloom's Books on Capitol Highway. We're going to put all the information. You have a couple other events as well, but we're going to put all the information on our website at ka2.com. The book, again, is titled Dumb Girl. Heidi Yewman, thank you so much.
Thank you, Helen.
All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go ahead.